Hey guys, welcome to Alrighty Then. Today's video is going to be a how to put together the FLEXiO Wagner power sprayer. It's a small, light duty, or not small projects, but you can do pretty much anything you want with it. But I decided I'm going to paint my house with it. So since I'm not going to paint my house all in one day, that means I'd have to use, put paint in it, clean it, put paint, clean it, and kind of stop somewhere in between. I have a professional sprayer, but every time you use it, it uses up a lot of paint because the paint has to go through the hose and it's got to go through the pump, and unless you're doing gallons after gallons after gallons, there's a lot of waste. That's my opinion. However, this one for a house project, a modest size home, you can use this no problem, and it's easy to clean and you're not going to lose a lot of paint in the cleaning process. Okay, so we're going to put it together, but I am going to use it to paint the entire house, and we're doing the exterior, so you could use interior paint, exterior paint, stains, and all sorts of things. So it uses let's take a look. But what I'm going to use to paint the house is we're going to have like these 4-inch, 3-inch brushes. I've got a 4-inch one. Believe it or not, these big ones are really good for cutting because they hold a lot of paint. If you use the small little 2-inch brushes, you have to be dipping a lot and doing a lot of, unless you're in a really tight spot, the 2-inch brushes are great, but for windows and everything, these are good. And especially with the stucco, they absorb a lot of paint, so you can get the paint in there. These little nubby brushes are really good. You kind of hold them like this, okay? You hold them like this and they're really good to kind of get in there. They give you a lot of control and they're very nice to use. Again, this one's nice and fat, so you want that's what holds a lot of paint, okay? So these are just some of the tools that I'm going to use to paint the house. Just in case, you might want to get some large nap rollers for rough surfaces. So this is also going to be used maybe, depending on how much I get through this. That's a backup. One of these scrapers are good to have. Anything like this, if you're going to paint and there's a little chip, you can want to kind of clean it off a little bit. Have this with you while you're painting. These are good to have. All right. You don't really need a lot to paint the house. It's really not that bad. Don't forget the blue tape in case you need to cover things up. So this is a good tool to have to cover things up. Okay, so this is a tool that they sell for doing edges when you're spray painting, so you don't get overspray. Whew. So for example, if I wanted to paint this part of the furniture, I could use this to block off the spray and spray here. And then I would move it down, and then that prevents the overspray. So this is something really handy to have. You can make your own with a piece of wood or cardboard. It works just fine. Or you can buy one that's got a handle and things. So this is something that you can use as well. But let's get to it. So this thing, you have to put it together. Let's see what's required. It says you can do walls in 5 minutes. You can do a deck in 2 minutes. An 8x10 wall in only 5 minutes. That's cool. The nice thing about the sprayer is that it gives you an even pattern. It's not too hard to learn how to spray. This one comes with a bag. It even comes with a little paper to show you how to paint. It's kind of like a practice. So they want you to practice on the paper. That's cool. Okay, here is one of the sprayers. You put the paint in here and you spray. Here, here's another sprayer. So this one holds a little bit more paint. The only problem with these is that you have to refill them more often. When you have the industrial sprayer, you actually put the sprayer right into the 5-gallon pail and you're spraying until it's over. But a lot of times there's sometimes almost a gallon to 3/4 of a gallon left on that 5-gallon pail. So you do have to tilt the bucket over, and it becomes kind of a little tricky thing to get to the last of it. But with this, you can just keep refilling and use up the entire can of paint. That's the only problem, that you have to stop and refill. But when you're doing sections of the house at a time, it's not such a bad deal. So this is the handle I think this goes somewhat like that. Look at that. I haven't read the instructions and it's already figured it out. So that handle just screws right in and it locks in place. Is there a way to unlock it? I guess, oh, you have to click this little bit up and it unlocks. Okay, easy. And you do the same thing with this one. Super. That's pretty awesome. Okay. And so it's way easier to clean these than it is to clean the other one because you have about 20 feet of hose that's all lined with paint. And sometimes I recycle the paint back into the paint bucket and that's how I recover some of the lost paint, but it's just a pain. So here's your hose, and all these hoses are kind of easy connect. Look, it just squeezes right in. Look at that. No extra connection. Oh, I think it goes the other way. Yeah, look at that. It just pops right in. You don't have to have any special tool. You can just take it out, put it in. It's just by friction. And then you hold it like this, and then you're gonna spray. Okay, I like this. Not a lot of tools required. And here is the main sprayer. Big cup liners. So they even sell liners for the spray cup that you could put inside the liner. I would suppose that if you run out of liners, you can use any small little plastic bag to put inside it to hold the paint, so that it's really easy to clean it afterwards. It's even better. But that's cool. Spray cup liner. So I believe that this is the air pump. And that's how you store it. This goes into here, like this. This goes into the back of the gun, like that. Let me see if I can plug this in and then we'll see how it sprays. So this is not an airless sprayer, this is an air sprayer. It uses air. Unlike my professional one, which it compresses the fluid. It's a non-air, it's an airless sprayer. So by compressing the fluid, it makes it come out, you know, with pressure. All right, so we've got that plugged in. Yeah. See, it's blowing. You can control the speed of the air with this little dial back here. So if this were ever to fail, I suppose you could connect it to any vacuum cleaner that has an outlet and use that for the air. So this connects into here, and this little doohickey is going to snap, and that's how it holds it together. So let's turn it on. Alright, let me put some water in here and see how it works. This is a siphon fed system, so this siphon sucks up the air and spits it out. And this head, what the head does is it changes the pattern of the spray. So most of the time the spray would come out as a little stream, but the nozzle has an air stream blowing this way and air stream blowing that way, and the one that's coming out of the middle, it flattens it out into a little strip, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Let's just get the air in here. Okay, screws in just like that. Turn on the power. Okay, so the air is blowing. When the nozzles are up and down like this in a vertical fashion, it's going to flatten the spray like this. If you put the nozzle this way in a horizontal position, the spray becomes this way. So if you're painting a wall in this manner, you want the spray to be, the fan of the spray to be nice and wide so it covers a greater area. If you're spraying up and down, then you would want to turn it this way so that it covers the wall that way. If you use the spray with the fan this way to go up and down, you're going to leave a lot of paint and it's going to run. So depending on what you're doing, let's say if I'm going across a window, I would go across the window with the fan like this. And as I was coming down the window, since I can't tilt this way because the paint's not going to get to the siphon, I can just turn the nozzle like this, flatten the spray, and then do the side of the window like that. But it seems to work pretty cool. Let's see. You can see it has a flat spray. It's vertical. And if I turn it this way, it goes horizontal. Excellent. Well, that's how you put it together. It's super easy, and it seems like it's going to be a nice little fun project to happen. So I hope you liked the video, but thanks for watching. See you guys.